First up, a big update from the Apex Court. Supreme Court has now allowed bursting of green crackers in Delhi NCR between October 18 and 21. The order came days after Delhi government had moved to the top court seeking a nod to the use of certified green crackers during Diwali. So that's the big update. We have Supreme Court gives nod to green crackers on Diwali in Delhi. Let's go straight across to Nupur, who is joining us from the Apex Court. Nupur, of course, this is a big development. The Supreme Court has now agreed or given nod for the usage of green crackers between October and 18 and 21, but certain conditions have been imposed. What are the conditions that have been imposed? And take us through the order of the Apex Court.
Radhika, for now, the Supreme Court has just allowed the green firecrackers to in Delhi NCR region, and that too with a strict time limit. That is, in the morning it will be allowed for 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. and in the evening it will be between 8 to 10 p.m. So it is just for 18th to 21st of October. This is just a temporary measure that the top court has proposed. Remember, firecrackers have been banned in Delhi NCR since 2020 in the wake of pollution in the months of October and November. But in 2024, the top court had extended this firecracker ban to an year-round ban, taking note of the severe pollution in Delhi NCR region. This was last year's order. However, we have seen that centre and the Delhi government had in fact appealed to the top court to just relax this ban and allow green firecrackers for a limited time on festival days, that is for Diwali, Guru Purab and for Christmas. But today the Supreme Court has only relaxed it for Diwali to see that what will be the impact. It has also sought a report from CPCB and State Pollution Control Board and also has sought a report on water samples to see that this temporary window that it has allowed green firecrackers, how it will impact the level of pollution in Delhi NCR. The top court, while passing this order today, observed that a complete ban leads to more smuggling of firecrackers, which are in fact more harmful for the environment. But now when the green firecrackers are involved with strict conditions, and there's also, remember, a complete ban on sale of firecrackers from outside Delhi NCR region in the Delhi NCR region or through online portals. So there are very strict conditions imposed by the top court with just a limited time window for the Delhiites to burst crackers while celebrating Diwali. But this is just a temporary measure. The top court will be assessing that what impact it has on the pollution levels in the city.
Right, and also Nupur, all right, before I go across to Nupur again, we're joined by Mahinder Singh Sirsa, Environment Minister of Delhi. Thank you, Mr. Sirsa, for joining us on this discussion. Of course, this comes as good news as far as Delhi government is concerned, which is pushing for the use of green crackers during Diwali. But my question is, there are certain conditions imposed as far as when it can be burst, the locations that can be burst, and certain regulatory mechanism as well. But as the government, how will you ensure that green crackers, usage of green crackers is monitored? How will you ensure a regulatory mechanism that will be put in place?
No, we will. Today itself we'll be having a meeting at 12:30 and will ensure that the Honorable Supreme Court order should be implemented. And only the green crackers comes to the capital. All the sellers and all manufacturers will be having a meeting together and will ensure that not even a single other cracker should come to Delhi.
Right, Mr. Sirsa, experts have been arguing ever since, this hearing had been going on before the Apex Court. Experts have been arguing that green crackers still release harmful pollutants. They are not completely harmless and therefore also difficult to really regulate effectively. What do you have to respond? How do you respond to this argument by environmentalists?
Gone through all those arguments, and after listening to both the sides almost for 3 days after this the decision came, I believe that the Supreme Court will have considered all that issues which experts says, and we will try to ensure that every possibility that the green crackers should only burst here. And firstly and secondly, green crackers are definitely, there must be some kind of a pollution. Pollution is everywhere. It is not that nothing is without pollution, but a celebration of Diwali is also important for the people of Delhi. Also, when an entire country is celebrating that, you cannot put a ban on one single city or one single town or one single state saying that you will not celebrate with this. So I believe that the Honorable Supreme Court have done justice to the people of Delhi also, and it will ensure that the green crackers only come here.
Right, Mr. Sirsa, also, given Delhi's already strained pollution control mechanisms, enforcement of such selective permissions could prove challenging because, there had been a blanket ban, but now that has been lifted. Some conditions have been imposed. Of course, you'll have to look into the order to understand what those conditions are. But selective permissions could prove challenging is something that several argue. So how do you really plan to ensure that things are under control during Diwali, especially when it comes to this particular enforcement?
I think one thing you will also accept this, that in last 8 years there was not a single Diwali जब crackers यहाँ पर नहीं चलाए गए. Every time the crackers were busted in Delhi, but people were forced to say that कि हम तो इसको दिवाली में नहीं चलाने देंगे. They were put in behind the bars. Their cases were registered. But still people were believing कि हमें तो दिवाली है, क्रैकर चलाने ही चलाने, पटाखे चलाने ही चलाने. I personally believe that this order will give justice to both. People will now be in an organized manner, will try to understand that if the Honorable Supreme Court has given us a permission, we should adhere all that conditions which have been enforced. Same time, now from last 8 years, those people who are saying कि हमें तो मनानी है, हमें जेल में भी डाल दो तो भी मनाएंगे, so they will be able to understand this. So I personally feel that there should be no such kind of a restriction for one particular religion. It goes against the sentiment of entire community, and then it gives a wrong message also. So I believe that it is a just and this is a justice given to the people of Delhi.
All right, Mr. Sirsa, thank you for joining us with your perspective on this. We'll, of course, see how the implementation will happen in Delhi NCR. And we also have some breaking updates, which is the Delhi Chief Minister welcoming Supreme Court's order. Rekha Gupta, they're saying, we express our gratitude to the Honorable Supreme Court for granting permission to use green firecrackers in the capital at the special request of the Delhi government. This decision respects the sentiments and enthusiasm of the public during sacred festivals like Diwali, while also reflecting a balanced approach towards environmental protection. The Delhi government, while honoring public sentiments, is fully committed to the resolve of a green and clean Delhi. Goal is to ensure that the vibrancy of festivals remain intact while also safeguarding the environment. Let's go back to Nupur, who's joining us from the Supreme Court. Nupur, is there any sort of penalties that could be imposed for violations during this temporary relaxation? Has that been spoken by the Supreme Court?
For now, there are not much details about the penalties, but if we go by the previous year orders, then of course the Supreme Court had in fact asked the Delhi government and in fact Delhi police to ensure that there is strict implementation of firecracker ban on the ground. But as we have just heard Mr. Sirsa saying that it was not implemented, even CGI in the last hearing said that the authorities could not implement this ban on the ground. And at that time, the top court had in fact rapped the Delhi authorities for not taking any penal action against those violating the orders. But this time, remember, it is now the Delhi government's appeal to the Supreme Court on which this has been allowed. And if now more violations are found, then of course we as Delhiites people have to remember that this is just a temporary measure. Supreme Court can again go back to its earlier stance. after going through the pollution reports, or if there are severe violations, it can mean a complete ban again from the top court on firecrackers. Because remember, in the last year, the Delhi pollution had in fact crossed all bounds when, especially during the time of Diwali in month of October. However, there were other factors like stubble burning and all that were taken into consideration. But as far as the manufacturers are concerned, if they are seen selling fake green firecrackers, or any firecrackers are found to be sold online, that is any e-commerce portal, or coming from outside the region of Delhi NCR, then the licenses of those firecracker manufacturers will be suspended. The top court has today clarified this one condition while pronouncing this order.
All right, and also Nupur, if I could ask you, as far as this petition is concerned, or the plea by the Delhi government is concerned, was there any consultation with environmentalist or with a pollution control body by the apex court? Was there any sort of consultation done before really coming out with this order?
Well, Radhika, in the last hearing, PAQM had in fact made detailed submissions in the top court with regards to the levels of pollution on the day of Diwali, before a day of Diwali, and after that. And they had clearly said that they found that around Diwali, after Diwali, when they were bursting of firecrackers, the PM 2.5 level increased in Delhi NCR, and there was not just a minuscule increase, but the increase was massive. So PM 2.5 are really harmful particles, particulate matter that are responsible for several respiratory diseases. However, the top court today observed that there needs to be a balanced approach, and that's why it has not allowed lifting of the firecracker ban for all the festivals. Remember, Delhi government and centre had appealed that the ban be relaxed for not only Diwali but also for Guru Purab and Christmas, which are coming later towards the month. But for now, the top court, as a temporary measure to see the results, to see the actual impact the green firecrackers can have on the pollution levels in the Delhi NCR. It has just allowed for 3 days, that is between 18th to 21st of October. And going forward, it will see and it will consult CPCB also. It has sought reports from both Central Pollution Control Board as well as State Pollution Control Board, that how the air was impacted and how the water was impacted in the city after this ban was just lifted for the time frame of Diwali.